Hello, Main Street stock investors. Welcome to the Winning Investor Daily channel. You are watching Ian and Amber on a brand new show called Monday Market Insights. So, hello, Ian. Good to see you.
Hey, Amber, great to see you as well.
Oh, yes, Ian. So, we have some new viewers who are joining the loyal Winning Investor Daily following.
Mhm.
And I thought this would be a great time for our first show to really get into your investing strategies. People want to know, what do you invest in and how can they follow your advice? So, you up for some questions for today?
Sure am. But before we start, Amber, I just want to say hello to all the Bold Profit subscribers tuning in today. So glad that you're on this journey with us. And I'm just happy to be here with Amber today.
Oh, and I am too. Same here, Ian. So, Ian, my first question to you is regarding trends and sectors that you follow.
Mhm.
Can you tell us what you're following for your investing strategies?
Sure. I consider myself a contrarian, and I think about the market as in what are the things that people believe to be true, and how are those beliefs going to change over time. And I'm looking for specific instances where people might believe one thing and the crowd believes one thing, but there might be a glimpse of a different belief that could be coming very shortly that will change their beliefs and change their investment strategy and change what they're investing in. A great example of this, I believe, is electric vehicles. 3 4 years ago, nobody believed that we would have EVs all over the roads by the end of 2020. Now that just seems to be the common belief. And as those beliefs quickly changed, it led to an investment bonanza in everything from Tesla to all these different EV companies at the time. So that would just be one example of a macro trend I'm looking for. I'm trying to think about how things are going to be 5 10 years from now, and what is inevitable in the future that we don't necessarily appreciate now, and the market is undervaluing. So those are always the trades that I'm looking for.
Okay, I like that. Really up our alley. So, Ian, what is your trading strategy? We know that what you look for. What are you, when you do your trading, what are you looking for company valuations? Anything just generic that you like to share?
Sure. I mean, I'm looking for the biggest headwinds. So I'm looking for the biggest trends. What's changing? What is the technology that is going to be transformational? What type of platforms are leading to new types of companies? So a great example of that is 15 years ago, Amber, we've talked about, nobody even knew what a smartphone was. Now we carry them around in our pockets. When they were first introduced, they were very cumbersome. I remember my first Apple iPhone, which I bought at the Apple store that was across the street from my apartment in New York City. And I just remember, it was slow. It was still on 2G. There wasn't much you could do. You could text, you could check email, but all of a sudden there were these apps that were being created, but they were still too slow. And then as this phones got faster and as the network speeds got faster, it led to this huge proliferation of businesses that were built basically for the mobile generation. Think about Uber or Grubhub or all these apps that let you do things on the go. And it led to an acceleration of companies like social media, like Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, although that one's not doing very well right now. And also, Amazon really benefited from this technology because you didn't have to be at your desktop computer to order yourself, a new toothbrush on Amazon. You could do it whenever you thought about it, walking around the street. So it's those type of transformational technologies that really lay the ground for other companies that benefit from them. And so I'm always looking at what is the big transformational technology and how will it impact other companies in the sectors. And you asked me, what do I think about valuations? Well, there is a case you made for valuations, and I believe it's more of a selling point for a stock. So you can say that this specific, for instance, you could say a chip company is undervalued at this point in the cycle. But I don't think that valuations are the end all be all of investing, because there are instances where you can buy things that are trading at a premium to where they're usually trading, and they'll just trade at a higher premium at some time in the future. So for me, it's more about momentum. Does the stock have upward momentum? Are there buyers coming into the market?
Yeah.
And is there a case to be made that valuation can be recognized or valued the same way 3-4 years down the road.
I like how you mentioned the momentum for security. So I
Mm-hmm.
have a question for you, Ian.
Sure.
One of my personal beliefs is that innovation is the solution to present world problems. Do you feel the same way about innovation and technology?
I
Help.
mean, of course, it's like, if you look throughout human history, the way that we've prospered and become more productive
Mm-hmm.
is through being innovative. And this goes all the way back to like cavemen inventing
Yeah.
fire,
Right.
and the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see that every time there is this technology trigger, some type of new breakthrough, it just changes the way the world works, the way businesses work, the way people consume. And for me, I'm always looking for that big technology trigger, like I said, that can be sort of the springboard for these other growth companies to grow off of and to prosper off of. My personal belief is technology is so important because it allows us to do more with less.
Mm.
And I believe in the last 30, 40 years, we've moved from a world where we were always worried about scarcity, right? Scarce energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this century, we're going to move to a world of abundance.
Mm.
Case in point, artificial intelligence able to do a lot of the process tasks that we needed humans for. AI essentially, I mean, think about how the transportation industry is going to be reinvented when you have self-driving trucks and
Yes.
self-driving cars,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and allow how that will increase productivity tremendously. And so those type of ideas, those type of investments, those future forward are ones that I'm always looking to invest in, because I think morally, it's important for us to be able to do more with less. And so that is what I'm most passionate about from an investing standpoint.
Well said, Ian. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit and go into cryptocurrency because I know
Oh,
that you are a resident cryptocurrency trading expert.
yeah.
You are.
Thanks.
You live it. So, Ian, tell me about your strategies. What are you looking for with cryptos, and how do you plan to make gains and help people with this strategy?
Well, Amber, I mean, there are 20,000 cryptocurrencies out there right now.
Wow.
20,000. I mean, that is way more than there are stocks.
Mm-hmm.
And um, the first thing, the most important thing is, does this cryptocurrency that I'm looking at solve a real world problem? And you can cut out 95% of cryptocurrencies by asking that one question, right? Does it serve a real world problem?
Okay.
And so that lets me narrow it down to a certain amount of current cryptos that I'm looking at. And the second question is, who is the team behind it? Who are the developers? What is their programming experience? That's a huge thing to look at as well, because anyone around the world can create their own cryptocurrency, but they might not have the right development team that can actually change it and allow the currency to be flexible and adapt it to whatever solution they're trying to solve. Now, the third thing I think is probably the most important is, who are the investors behind it? I want to make sure that it has sort of the right investors that are lined up that can actually propel this cryptocurrency to fruition, right? So if it's going to solve a real world problem, you want to make sure there's a team behind it. You also want to make sure that it has the right investors. And a big reason for that is it's going to help with marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
it becomes almost self-fulfilling. You've got a great investors behind it that are going to bring it to market, and that'll help it solve the real world problem, because there is sort of an escape velocity, I think, in crypto world, where it's like a lot of these cryptocurrencies will have 10x or 100x moves,
Mm-hmm.
but then if there is no adoption by users, there's no investment case to be made for it. So I think those are my three specific criteria that I'm always looking for when I evaluate any new cryptocurrency.
Okay, I'm glad you really covered that ground. I appreciate that response, Ian. So my
Mhm.
last question to you is regarding, we can call them macro trends, mega trends, whatever you feel is correct. But I know that a lot of viewers of this channel are really into like mega trends, like maybe 3D printing, IoT, Internet of Things, precision medicine. So I just wanted to see, are you a proponent of these different megatrends? I know you are, but I'd like to just hear it from you directly.
I mean, of course, like, it all comes down to how can we do more with less? How can we create more productivity with less resources? How can we create a better planet and better outcomes for people around the world? One thing I'm very passionate about is 12 years ago, I guess 2008, 14 years ago,
Okay.
after I left my hedge fund, I co-founded a non-government organization. And basically we take microscopes around to non-literate communities in South Asia and teach people about things that live in their environment they can't see with their own eyes. And it creates a eureka moment. We've done random control trial studies where we had one control group that didn't get the microscope but got the hygiene training, another group that got the microscope, and we found that using the microscopes is more effective. So these are the types of reasons why I believe in investing in technology, because I believe it increases prosperity around the world. A lot of people think that the world is a zero-sum game, and if you think about sort of the energy markets or some of the agriculture markets, it can feel like a zero-sum game, right? It feels like if you take from someone, then you have something and they have less of it, right? In an extraction business. But I believe that we are moving towards a world of abundance where we will have artificial intelligence and self-driving cars and the ability for anybody on planet Earth to have an internet connection and to, basically avail themselves to the Library of Alexandria at their fingertips. And I think that when this happens, you're talking about educating 7 billion people, giving people the same type of access that, only the very few have had in the past. And that's just going to open up the market for new ideas and new innovation. So to me, that's very exciting. And I believe that a lot of the trends that we invest in are helping us get to that point.
Well, that is exciting indeed, Ian. Thank you, Ian, for taking some time to answer these questions for our viewers this week. And I look forward to our next show, which will
awesome
be next week, obviously. So thank you again for joining in, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon.
Same here, Amber. Have a good one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Ian and I are excited about what's to come for Winning Investor Daily. And we want to hear from you. Yes, you. Our dedicated team will be taking calls to learn more about your goals and interests with the first people who sign up. To claim your spot, please click the link in the description of this video below. And just know that spots are limited. So that concludes this week's Market Insights. Thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe and like this channel, as it does support the channel. And know that you can follow Ian and me on Twitter. Ian is at Invest with Ian, and I am at a Lancaster Guru. Have a great week ahead, everyone. Until next time, take care.